On today's Podmas episode, I'm joined by three more lovely ladies from the Small and Supercharged Mastermind group. We've got Donna, Sharon and Faye, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves and their businesses because they'll do a much better job than I will. So I'll start with you, Faye. Tell us about you.
Hello, Ria. Well, my name's Faye. My other half is Barry, and we run Horseshoe Hearts. So we started off making things from Barry's leftover horseshoes from his ferry work. And it went from there, really. Now we do quite a lot from other client shoes as well, and making things from their horses' shoes as well as our own. And we're incorporating a bit of my artwork into that. I did a lot of pet portraits and commissions before we started Horseshoe Hearts, and so bringing some of that into it too, and hopefully expanding further in the future. So that's what we do.
Very exciting. What about you, Sharon?
I'm from Mulberry Tree At Home, and I run that with my partner Kevin. We make home accessories and furniture, mostly from reclaimed wood, and we also use horseshoes and sort of gun cartridges. And we basically started our business because we were making pieces for our own home, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's great! You should, other people would like it too. Why don't you sell it?" So we thought, why don't we? And so that's what we do.
Brilliant. And Donna?
So my name's Donna, which you've just said, and I run the Horse Feed Guru. So I'm basically an independent equine nutritionist. I live in Newmarket, but I operate all over the country and also internationally as well. So I work remotely and in person. I have worked commercially in the past. So I have worked for feed brands, but now obviously I do this for myself. So I can work with all different feed brands. I can recommend what's right for the horse in front of me and look at the diet as the whole. So the forage, the hard feed, any supplements as appropriate, really. So that's me. That's what I do.
I have to say she's basically a wizard. I've worked quite closely with Donna and the super cob, because the super cob was refusing to gain as much weight as she should have, and poor Donna now receives regular videos and pictures of Marilyn's backside and body, and also pictures when I'm about to be decked, because Marilyn is now full of the joys of springs.
But she looks fab, doesn't she?
She does. She's getting more and more sassy the older she gets, that horse, and I'm sure now she's like feeling well and all curvy. She's just curvy in the right way, especially coming into winter. But so yeah, Donna's basically a wizard. A wizard of horse feed. There you go. You should have that as your new branding.
The wizard.
So I'm going to ask you what your Christmas looks like now, and whether that's from a business perspective or whether it's from a personal perspective, or maybe even both. So if I start with you, Sharon, if that's okay.
Yeah. Well, from a business perspective, I think our Christmas will probably sort of look fairly similar, because we're an online business, we work from home, we have a workshop at home. So I think from a sort of business perspective, I think it will sort of feel very similar. From a personal perspective, Christmas this year, I think obviously we don't know at the moment, whether we'll be able to have people in our homes, or, normally my parents come around for Christmas dinner. So at the moment, obviously I don't know if that's going to happen this year. We also have family things that we do each year, such as going to Panto. We have our Christmas light switch on. So there's those little things I think this year that will obviously probably not happen. So I think those things will feel different for, Christmas won't feel quite the same having not done those things that we do year in, year out with our family. Yeah,
definitely. I think they're really strong points. I do think that there will be things that will be done that will take the place of the old things, but it is definitely difficult to predict. And what about you, Donna? I know that you really go hard or go home on Christmas, don't you?
Oh yeah, this Christmas is going to have to be epic, isn't it? I did have a mild sulk the other day. I don't know if you saw that, Ria, that I couldn't get the Christmas tree that I want.
I saw that.
I'm just trying to be sensible, and it was a ludicrous amount of money, and I was like, no, we can't be spending that on a Christmas tree. That was insane, but it was very beautiful. But yeah, even for myself, Christmas will be different this year, in as much as So I've got 2 primary school age children, and I try and do a lot of different festive visits and trips out and that sort of thing. And obviously, you know, at the moment things aren't quite the same. However, I have I have managed to find a socially distant Santa I can visit. So I'm quite happy about that one.
How does that even work?
Well, to be honest, the one I'm going to is at Hever Castle in Kent, and it's a beautiful setup. I've never actually been before, but I watched a whole YouTube video on how they were planning to run it, and it's mostly outside with like lights in the gardens and that sort of thing. So and they're being restrictive in terms of who they can, you know, the numbers, that side of thing. And then there is a timed entry into the grotto. And so if you've got a child under 11, they don't have to wear a mask, I think it is, but we will have to. And yeah, we just keep, I think it's an appropriate distance the children keep. But from what I understand of it, it will still be done in a beautiful way that hopefully they shouldn't be too aware of that fact, and Santa won't be wearing a mask. So but they seem to have taken a lot of precautions. So it's things like that, really. I mean, I won't be doing as much as what I normally did with the children, but I've tried to do what I can, really. And in terms of the business, well, that just goes on as usual for me, because I'm a service-based business rather than a product-based business. I don't have last orders or things like that I need to fulfill. I just carry on as I did, really, and that's it. But I love Christmas.
I mean, you start Christmas as early as you possibly can as well, don't you?
Yeah, well, this year, see, normally I'd put my Christmas tree up the 1st of December. If I'm being a little bit sneaky, I'll put it up the last weekend of November. But this year, the only time slot I could get to see Santa was the last weekend in November. So therefore, my tree will have to go up the last but one weekend in November. So it has been pre-planned, but I'm not going to miss out.
Oh.
You know what I'm like, Ria. You just know what I'm like.
I was thinking the tree's going up. I was thinking of going earlier this year too. But for me, early would be the beginning of December. But yeah, I was thinking
summer. That would be early.
I was thinking earlier this year, because I think you just want something bright and twinkly, and
it's the twinkly lights, isn't it, Faye?
That's
exactly it.
Bit of light in the dark and things like that, I think. So I was going to go early for the Christmas decorations as well. Yeah.
What does your Christmas look like to you? I mean, I don't want you and Donna having a competition who's going to get the tree up earlier, because Donna will like clear her schedule and crack on with it.
Well, work-wise, I think we've bought our order deadline. I don't know when this will go out, but our order deadline is November 20th. We put it forwards because the last 2 years we've been posting right up like to last posting dates, and it's been so stressful. So we've brought it forwards and see how that goes, because I think we're expecting online purchasing to be a bit busier, I think, this year than it has been in previous years too. So that's come forward a bit, but other than that, nothing really changes with that. Christmas, with regards to family, we normally go visiting actually on Christmas Day. And actually my girls, they are well, sixth form and year 7 at secondary school now. They're actually quite looking forward to not visiting family at Christmas this year. We're having, because we're the only sort of animal orientated people in my family, Christmas is normally a big rush of sorting the animals in the morning, doing our own presents, getting dressed and going visiting. And then we're kind of, even when we're visiting, we can't have a cheeky drink or anything, and can't really relax because we know we've got to sort the horses out on Christmas Day in the afternoon. So the girls are actually really excited about the idea of going to the yard in their PJs in the morning and basically having a really, really lazy Christmas on the sofa.
I can understand that actually, because it can be really stressful, especially if you've got different people to see in different places and got to remember stuff, and it can be time anyway in normal times, obviously. So I can understand that.
So, and depending on I think I mean, as it stands at the minute, depending on, you know, what they do about it, but as it stands at the minute, they actually break up on the 18th of December, which is quite early. Normally, I don't like it when they don't break up until like the 22nd. You don't feel like you get time to do, you know, much festive with them. So I'm looking forward to them breaking up a bit early, baking Christmassy things and Christmassy crafts. I'll still, the older one probably won't impress, but I'll still rope her into doing some Christmassy crafts. And I think a bit more, more traditional, family oriented Christmas, and just really chilled one, I think, since it's been enforced on us, I think.
Yeah, sounds very lovely. I'd be in on that. I don't know what ours is going to be like either, to be honest. I think the boys break up on the 18th as well, and I hadn't really twigged that is actually quite a long time until Christmas, and they're going to be wired, aren't they? They'll be fine. They'll just be like, you know, they ask me most days now whether Santa's coming, and I'm like, not today. It's busy today.
Busy getting ready for Christmas.
The presents.
Yeah, he's getting all of his job list done.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to turn to a Christmas thing that you sell, or a product or a service that you think would make the perfect gift for somebody. So if we start with you, Donna.
I think realistically with myself, it would probably be a remote consultation. And actually that's quite a unique surprise, I think. It's funny because a lot of people have a consultation with me and they sort of say, gosh, you know, why didn't I get this done years ago? And they feel so great about knowing what they're doing. They understand things a lot more. But I guess with the remotes, what's really great is that it doesn't matter where you live. So you could be living just around the corner from me, or you could be living in the other side of the world. So and I have got clients abroad, so it's, you get a lot of value for money with the remote consultation. The way it works is that we agree a time and a date. I send out a questionnaire asking for various questions about the horse. I ask for photos as well. And then we spend around an hour on the phone on the day of the consultation, actually going through everything. And then they get a written report. So, you know, there's a lot of value from that. So really, I think if people were wanting to do gifts for loved ones, that would be the one to go for, because we can guarantee that I can actually do it. Whereas with the in-persons, you know, there's a lot more to consider, like when I'm going to be in that area and that sort of thing. So yeah, remote consultations, I have actually sold a few in the past, as presents for people, as surprises. Normally, as sexist as this sounds, it's for husbands that haven't got a clue what the heck to get. So for the other half. So yeah.
It's a great gift though, and also it is like a kind of education, not just around your horse's feeding, but just a general kind of nutrition education and how it all works, which does make you feel a lot more in control of it, rather than, you know, rather than bodging it. You understand why you're doing what you're doing, and even the adjustments that you can make based on what you've shared. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've always said, to be honest, that if I can get people to understand the principles behind why, I never just say, oh, this is the feed we're going to use. I really try and check that they understand why we're choosing that and the principles behind it, so that then moving forward, people can make and tweak things themselves because they understand the principles better.
Definitely. And what about you, Sharon? I mean, you do lots of lovely things. I might let you have two, you know, because I mean,
oh, do you know, I was sort of like, that's really handy actually, because I was sitting here actually thinking, oh, I've got two that so now I don't have to choose. I'd probably say this is the first year that I'm going to be a horse owner. So I'll have my own horse to visit on Christmas Day this year, which will be lovely, and I'll be able to buy him presents. But I'd say one thing that we made, because I got my own horse, was we made a grooming box for him, and like we put a horseshoe on, and I sort of designed it the way I wanted it, and we've now just released that as a product. So I think, like, for any horsey person, I think that's quite a nice gift, and they can somebody can send their own horseshoe that we could use, and also because we now, you know, it's now getting into sort of more winter, maybe one of our tea light holders for like those cozy autumn winter evenings, I'd say.
I have to say, if anyone's listening to this and you want these beautiful, I mean, actually Faye and Sharon do beautiful things for the home, but I have seen that grooming box and it is a thing.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous.
I got special brushes. I wanted particular brushes, and I was like, right, this box has to be for those brushes. And but if anyone has their own brushes and they want a particular size, we can always, you know, make it a particular size as well.
I'm ashamed to say I've got Haas brushes thrown just into a bucket. So maybe I need one of your grooming boxes.
I think I know what you should ask Santa for, Faye.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, well, because you make everything at home, you can do bespoke measurements, can't you? If someone's got something specific.
Oh, well, any of our pieces really. I mean, we've just sort of made them, you know, a particular size, but any size that anybody wants. You know, if they've got a little sort of space that they want, or there's a tea light holder that it's got 3 candles, tea lights, 4 tea lights. You know, whatever people want really. We say, because we make everything ourselves, we can just change the sizes of anything, our pieces really.
Amazing. Okay. Can you give us a couple of products that you sell? I mean, obviously I appreciate this will be going out after your cut-off time, but people can buy vouchers. So then what could they spend their vouchers on? Let's spin it.
Okay. Well, I was going to mention the vouchers actually in case it went out later. So we do sell vouchers, and we will be able to dispatch those right up until last posting dates, because I think sometimes vouchers, if you're unsure, especially if it's out of somebody else's horseshoes, you can be unsure on exactly what they would like or the personalization they would like on it, because sometimes it's so sentimental and so personal. Then vouchers are fantastic for that. We did have last year a customer had taken his girlfriend's last pair of horse's shoes after the horse had passed away and sent them to us to have a pair of hearts made out of, but she thought she'd lost them. And he was actually emailing saying, you know, oh, she's going to be so thrilled because she thinks she's lost them. And we were just like, oh my goodness. But as it was, no, she opened them on Christmas Day and she was so over the moon and happy. But I'm not sure, we were thinking, I'm not sure we'd have the nerves of steel to do something like that. So if you haven't got the nerves of steel, then a gift voucher is a really, really good idea if somebody would like something from their own shoes. So gift vouchers. The other one that I'm really, really in love with, that we want to big up a bit more, is our Horseshoe and Oak Bookends, actually. I used to be a bookseller as well, and I'm just mad about all sorts of books, especially vintage ones, but horsey books. And I used to be a children's bookseller, so still mad about the children's books too. And so we sell the Horseshoe and Oak Bookends that we can make from our shoes or your own. 3 different sizes, so 5-inch are the smaller ones, which are great for sort of paperbacks and things like that. And they do 6-inch and 7-inch as well. So your 7-inch would have a big, 7-inch wide shoe on as well. Full set, so pair of fronts and then a pair of hinds on the other one. So they would hold larger hardbacks and things. So they are, I think, one of my favorite things we make. And the other one that I'm a little bit in love with at the minute is our Horseshoe Trivet too, for the kitchen, which is made up of 3 horseshoes of a similar size. And actually, if you look down from above, it's got a kind of Celtic spiral pattern on it as well, with little blacksmith scrolled feet. And that's a lovely one for if you've got people coming over for dinner or on the table. It looks good. So sneak your horseshoes in everywhere that you can around the house. So
absolutely. Now I'm going to talk about if you've got any kind of time hacks or tips and tricks that save time. I guess that's what a time hack is, around the festive period. So if we start with you, Donna.
Oh man, I feel like I've just got the hardest question first. And the others are like, we're going to see what Donna says and take it from there. Time hacks. Do you mean in terms of like time hacks for doing your business stuff around Christmas, or time hacks for
I mean, we've had time hacks about like turkey, making gravy in advance, and like
Man, do you know something? I'm the world's worst chef. I So basically,
when it comes to hot chocolate,
okay, I'm really good at hot chocolate, yeah. But when it comes to Christmas Day, a lot of things have to be bought from Marks and Spencer. This is my hack.
Yeah.
All pre-done, ready to just all go in the oven at the set time, and just write my list with, oh, okay, the cauliflower cheese goes in then, followed by the potatoes, followed by the thing. Oh, and then we're doing our microwavable bread sauce, and it's all from Marks and Spencer. And that is literally how I run the show on Christmas Day.
That sounds like a good idea.
So
you're not alone. There's been a few on this podcast who have actually specifically mentioned Marks and Spencer. I need sponsorship from Marks and Spencer.
The other thing is, it's not so much a time hack, but people with children, especially young children, because the older you get, like the more expensive the presents become and there's less of them. But when they're younger, there's just so many flipping presents. And the worst thing that you could possibly do, which 9 times out of 10 I'm always doing, is wrapping the presents on Christmas Eve.
Oh, you've just stolen my one.
That's just horrendous. I mean, we'll be going until, there was one year that we were going till about 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, I've done 2 o'clock.
and no, that last year I did manage to do a few, you know, like an hour every other day of wrapping presents or something insane. So
Yeah,
that would be the biggest thing, so that you can actually enjoy your Christmas Eve, and when the kids are in bed, sit down and watch a movie and all of that, as opposed to sitting there with cricky knees wrapping up presents. And sorry, I've just stolen your one, Faye. What can I say? Great minds. But yeah,
you know, I was just really, my time hack was just going to be the same as what you said. For God's sake, don't leave it till Christmas Eve, and don't think it will only take me an hour, because just don't, because it doesn't. And you really are just sat there until 2 o'clock in the morning, or I am. And the amount of times Christmas Day I'm just a zombie because I'm exhausted through wrapping. So definitely do little bits here and there. That's why you should shop early. You should shop early, and you should wrap bits and pieces as you go along, so you actually get a Christmas Eve. The other thing I was going to say is, because this will just go out to adults listening on this, so I'm all right to talk about Santa and stockings, aren't I?
Oh God, I thought well, this is going to take a dark turn.
I'm worried.
I was just going to say, I've spent, because mine are that bit older now, and I've spent so many years where they've had stockings at the end of the beds in their bedrooms and waiting until they fall asleep.
And my kids would just wake up and I go up in the morning and they would just be covered in paper and
we just wait for them to like go to sleep before putting stuff in the stockings. And yeah, don't do that. Just leave the stockings downstairs and send them to bed, and it can all be filled up by the fireplace. Just do that.
There you go. That's a good life
tip.
Just
do that.
But Faye, don't you find the problem is though, because this is what started happening to me last year, does everyone else store their presents in the roof? Because it was a case of, when are the kids going to fall asleep so we can go in the roof and get the presents down?
They're all being positioned around your roof.
Did I have presents to wrap? I couldn't get in the roof to get them down.
Climbing up the side of your house.
Oh gosh, no, actually mine are in cupboards.
Mine are in cupboards as well.
Mine are in cupboards, so I'm all right for that.
Yeah,
it's just me.
It's only you, Donna.
I've got to sort it out. Sorry, Ria's now just laughing.
And Sharon, what about you?
Well, my biggest time hack on Christmas Day is actually leaving the Christmas dinner to Kevin to cook. I don't do any of the cooking at all, but we do shop at Marks and Spencer's to help us out a little bit, and definitely wrapping the presents early. I like to sort of be organised and finished by about the 23rd. So on Christmas Eve,
that's the dream.
Christmas Eve is sorted, and if so I don't want any housework, no wrapping, nothing. So I try and sort of like wrap through early in December if I can. But I love wrapping Love random. So it takes me a really long time to wrap presents because they're like little mini works of art. But yeah, wrap early.
We're going on to the random questions now, although, I mean, those questions I've asked you so far, I didn't consider them random. The answers have been quite special. Right, the first question, which I'm going to go to Faye first, is what is your favourite part of the Christmas lunch?
Oh,
This is like picking your favourite kid, isn't it?
Yeah, because like how on earth do like everything just comes into mind all at once? If I said them all really, really quickly, they'd count as one, wouldn't they?
One.
I mean, it's fun to. Do you see? My first thought was that, well, this is eating, right? But I suppose it could be something other than eating. But we are talking about what's on your plate, aren't we?
What do you want to say? Honestly, Faye, I'm beyond caring. What do you want to say?
I started off with pigs in blankets and roast potatoes very quickly. They were like the main ones. I love applesauce anyway, so applesauce on everything. But then I was just thinking, I do love pulling a cracker. So pulling crackers. Do people do that at the Christmas lunch? Yeah, they do. At the beginning or at the end?
Beginning.
Because I can't wait, so I'm generally at the beginning. But you're supposed to wait.
It's a beginning job.
Beginning. Then you wear your hat.
Yeah, you got to wear your hat.
You have to wear your hat, so you have to at the beginning.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm glad I'm right with that. Yeah. Yeah, so pigs in blankets, roast potatoes and pulling crackers.
Yeah, so that's your single favourite part.
All at the same time.
And how about you, Sharon?
Well, if it's food, it's definitely the roasted parsnips. I adore parsnips.
Oh, honey roast carrots.
Faye, you've abused the system already. Right, Sharon, you're parsnips, are you?
Yes, definitely roasted parsnips, yes.
Do you want to abuse the system like Faye and chuck another one in there?
No, I think Faye's covered it all, really.
And how about you, Donna?
Oh, again, it is like picking a favourite child, isn't it? Oh God, just where to start? Food. I'm so hungry right now as well. The thing is, I mean, Christmas is just one big eating fest, isn't it? From like the moment you get up, having croissants with Bucks Fizz and salmon, and then that, and actually, but you know, deep down, my absolute favourite, and I do love pigs and blankets as well, and in fact, I'm just saying everything. Oh, and there's the Yorkshire
This is the way to do it.
But how about Christmas Eve dinner time? We always do like a little buffet in the evening and have all the cheeses out and the dips and that. So I'm going to say cheese.
Like that, you basically named everything in the Christmas lunch. For your answer.
And I threw breakfast in, but you know, other than that, like, but my final answer. My final answer. Another thing I hadn't thought of is going back to Marks and Spencer's. You know the bread sauce that I was talking about in the microwave.
Yeah.
That's got a hint of cinnamon to it, and I quite like that. So maybe that's going to have to be my favourite. But also apricot stuffing.
I don't know why I bother. I literally don't know why I bother.
Sorry.
I'm scared to ask the next question now, which was...
I think you've done it eliminated. Sharon, one of the rules.
Like, the rules just don't apply here, clearly. I mean, I'm like, we're going to go for favourite Christmas drink. Just let's try.
I can give one for that. I can give one.
You want to go first?
I can commit to this. Bucks Fizz. I love the stuff. I love Bucks Fizz. I know I'm not keeping it classy here, but I do love Bucks Fizz.
It could have been worse, Donna. It could have been worse. Sharon.
Well, you see, I want two now. You see, because
I know
it's like I love a snowball over Christmas, but I love a Bucks Fizz on Christmas morning as well. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to have two. I'm afraid, Ria.
No, you were better behaved on the lunch one, so you're good. You're in the good corner at the moment. Faye and Donna are just wrecking it up. Faye.
Actually, I don't know if this is a bit Marmite, but I'm a big mulled wine fan. So
No.
No.
I'm gonna go with mulled wine first, but mulled cider, mulled everything. If you can mull it, I love it. So I'll go with mulled wine. There you go.
Oh my God. Just Faye's answer is just mulled.
Yeah.
And the most unusual or random present you've ever received? I don't know who to start with. I'm basically afraid of how this is going to end up. Donna, should we start with you?
Oh, that's mean. I feel like for the hardest questions, I always have to go first. The thing is, I did actually say last year this one, and that was a pair of washing up gloves.
That is random.
That is, isn't it? I can't think of what else. Ask the others, and I'll see if I can think of a fresh answer.
Okay, Sharon.
Well, I once did a secret Santa at work, and the present I got was a gigantic homemade carrot cake. I mean, it was huge, which was rather unusual.
You like carrot cake?
Well, actually, this carrot cake, I went to, they had like a bit of a house party, and I mentioned that I liked their carrot cake. So that's what they made me. So that particular carrot cake I do, but not all carrot cakes equal.
Gosh. No, that's good truth.
But a lot of them put cinnamon in the carrot cake, and I don't like cinnamon. So yeah, I do not eat anything with cinnamon. No, I even read labels, and if there's cinnamon in anything, I don't buy it.
Scandalous.
I know.
Absolutely scandalous.
Now.
What is happening here?
I've been asking myself that question for a little while, to be honest.
So that's the most random present, probably.
And it is
carrot cake.
Very random. I'm going to take a picture of this audio and put it on. Right, Faye, you go for it. Tell us.
Okay, so this is my absolutely worst question I didn't want to answer. But actually, I'm going to go with, and it's not a gift I've ever bought, it's a gift I was told that I should have that was random. So I was told that I should have a nose bag. Like horses, so they can eat all the time.
Oh my God.
So with what we were talking about before with the food, that could make sense. I like food, so I was told that I should have a nose bag. There you go. Always hungry.
No, so I have thought of my most random thing, and it was an egg, and it was from my in-laws. I don't think they'll listen to this, but if they do, I'm sorry. But it was all the way, it was, you know, one of those painted eggs, and it cost them an absolute fortune. And that's why I feel guilty. So I sort of had to pretend that, oh, this is nice. But it was basically from Walt Disney World, and it had been done by an artist there, and it had pictures. It was interesting. But I think for what they would have paid for that, I'm not too sure why. But you know what? It's the thought that counts, isn't it? It's somewhere in my garage. When I find it in a few years' time, I'll take a photo and tag you all in it.
Okay, and now we're going to find out where everyone can find you all online. So if we start with Sharon.
You can find us on Instagram at Mulberry_Tree_At_Home, and on Facebook, Mulberry Tree At Home.
It's the underscores, because my small and supercharged it's got dots in, and I'm like, it's small and supercharged. No, it's not. It's small dot and dot. Yeah, I can't remember. But yes, I understand you. How about you, Faye?
Oh, me. I'm simpler. We are at www.horseshoehearts.co.uk. On Instagram, we are just at Horseshoe Hearts, and Facebook, it's facebook.com/Horseshoe Hearts Gifts.
Fab. And last but definitely not least, Donna.
So the website is www.thehorseshoehearts.co.uk. thehorsefeedguru.com, and it's at the Horsefeed Guru on Insta, and it's at the Horsefeed Guru on Facebook.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies. It has definitely been a giggle.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.